Why is fat empowerment important? I'm Kathy Bertoli from theintimacydojo.com, and I'm here with Tamara Pincus from tamarapincus.com. And you're speaking at the Woodhull Sexual Freedom Summit this year about fat empowerment. Why is that important to you?
Well, so people of size and fat people really are a stigmatized group in our culture, treated as though we are not good romantic partners, as though we're stupid. There's all kinds of negative
Lazy.
associations with our body size.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too. And, you know, there's a lot of internal shame that fat people experience, and it makes them not feel worthy of really standing up for themselves in situations where they're discriminated against.
Yeah.
Often when they are treated poorly by their peers, treated poorly by their employers, treated poorly in the healthcare system, they feel like it's their fault because if they were good, they would be thin. And so they don't necessarily stand up for themselves in the way that they could. And I feel like this workshop is designed to help people really sort of own their power as fat people and spread the movement just outside of ourselves.
I really love that. I think releasing that internalized shame is so powerful. And we're going to be putting this on YouTube, so I know that we're going to get this question. Shouldn't you shame fat people into being skinny? If you give them permission to not feel ashamed and bad about themselves, they're never going to get thin. How do you answer that?
Well, I mean, I think that we've shown that shame is a really poor motivator.
It doesn't. Like, if it worked, I'd be a size 2.
I know, right? And I think that 95% of diets don't work.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are going to tell people to be healthy by dieting, what you're doing is basically causing people to lose weight quickly, slow down their metabolism, throw off their endocrine system so that the hormones that make you feel hungry and make you feel full are totally misfiring. And you're going to cause people to gain weight. 95% of the time, that's what happens. Mm-hmm. So if what you want is for people to be healthy, you actually do better with what we call a health at every size approach, where you tell people that you try to encourage people to move and do exercise in ways that feel good for them, and to eat when they're hungry and stop when they're full, which seems so obvious, and yet we live in a culture that encourages us not to do that at all. There are certain eating things that are required for social interaction, and then one of the things you see is that when people are not eating, when they're dieting, it also has a great effect on their social interactions. So they'll not want to socialize with people because they're on their date where they don't eat anything. It's weird. So you get better health outcomes if you do a health at every size approach. So I mean, I think that we've been told that weight is the thing about our health that we should worry about, but there's plenty of things about our health that we should worry about, and part of that is about being part of a stigmatized group. People who are in a stigmatized group, and that's not just fat people, but also people of color, LGBTQ people, have poorer health outcomes regardless of their weight. So, and if you look at social economic status, people have poorer health outcomes regardless of their weight. So we're told that weight is the thing that we should worry about, and it's not.
No.
Also, loneliness has a really great effect on this.
Stress, loneliness, isolation.
I mean, if you don't socialize because you feel like because you're a fat person you're not worthy of love or social interaction, the loneliness is going to have a really bad effect on your weight. Yes.
Absolutely. I didn't date for 14 years because I thought I was too big and no one would want to date me. And I realized now I date as much as I want. And I realized a lot of it was my own internal beliefs. There are some people that don't prefer bigger people. Great. I tell them not to message me, but
I don't have time for those people.
Yeah. It's great. Fine. Go away. Yeah. So Tamara, why did you choose Woodhull as your venue to share this?
Well, I mean, I think that I love the community at Woodhull. I've been going for years. It was one of the first places that I really started thinking about and talking about my experience as a fat person in our culture. I went to a workshop by oh, I can't say her name well. Sonali Weshwatar
Uh-huh.
a few years ago, about weight bias that was really, really powerful for me. And so I wanted to like share something in the space that sort of took the next step, like from like not only are we not bad people for being fat, but also we need to change the culture
Yeah.
around fat.
Yeah. I think it's so important. What's one of the favorite things you've gotten out of being at Woodhull? I'm excited. I can't. That's where I met you. That's the first place I spoke about size acceptance.
Mm-hmm. Um, I mean, I think for Woodhull, there's a lot of connecting with people who are really smart, who really know a lot about sexuality, and are not just the people in the super professional space. Like I go to ASECT every year, but it's much more like people are much more professional and held back. Whereas at Woodhull, people are really open and discuss the really hard stuff, and
Yeah.
it's powerful.
It is. I find that I get sometimes I like hang out at my corporate job or talking to people, and it's I don't feel recharged in the same way when I hang out at Woodhull. I'm like all these activists and people that really care about it and that are willing to put their time and their energy into it. It's really I feel really recharged.
Yeah, and I feel like that's so important right now, where it feels like the whole country is moving in this direction of less and less sexual freedom and less acceptance of people of color, of of immigrants, and we really need to coordinate our fight.
Yeah, we really do. So, before we wrap up, could you give us one tip that you would tell someone who is struggling with fat empowerment and feeling accepting of their body? One thing that you think that might help them move forward to feeling better about themselves?
Um, I think that just because you're fat doesn't mean you're not lovable. I mean, I think that I don't know what other people get, but I feel like that was the primary message that I got growing up. Like, if you're fat, nobody will love you.
My mother literally used those words to me when I think I weighed 10 pounds. I was 10 pounds overweight by the scale on the doctor's thing. And she's like, if you don't lose weight, no one will ever love you. I was like 13 years old. Oh my God. So,
Yeah, that's up with your head.
yeah.
So yeah, you can be loved as a fat person. You do not have to be alone.
Yeah, I love, if I don't, you mind, because I love talking about this too. I encourage people to start watching TV with like more aware eyes because they constantly push that the skinny people are happy and wealthy and loved and all that. The thing is, a lot of those people don't even look like that. Like, there's a lot of photoshopping going on. There's a lot of other things. Like, some of them are not very healthy, and their real lives may not be happy. But if media can make us dissatisfied with our bodies, we'll purchase things. We'll buy diet pills. We'll buy new clothes. We'll buy makeup. We spend money. The advertising media actually uses this to make us unhappy with ourselves. So like that gives me something to fight back against. I'm like, this is bullshit. The average person in the U.S. does not look like this, and yet that's what they show us over and over again. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for being here. I so appreciate you talking about this and sharing about Woodhull, and I can't wait to see your talk in a few months.
Great. Thank you so much. It was great to talk to you.
Yeah. So people can find you at tamarapincus.com, and if you'd like to see tomorrow's talk, show up at Woodhull. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Thank you.